Welcome to the Your Next Best Step podcast, where it's all about real experiences, real lessons, real hurdles, and everything in between. I'm Theresa Cantley, and I'm bringing you over 20 years experience in business, leadership, and marketing to help you shift out of your corporate thinking and into being an entrepreneur so you can maximize your results, build and empower your team, and make a bigger impact. It's time to turn your ideas into innovation, and that's only the beginning. So let's get started. When I was a young girl, probably 16, I think around 16, I had my big dream and my big goal was to be a fly girl on In Living Color. And if you are probably around my age, you remember that show. It's where J-Lo got her start. And the Fly Girls were a group of, they would have the comedian, skits and stuff. It was kind of, I guess it was kind of like Saturday Night Live. But Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon Wayans, the Wayans brothers, they are the ones that actually produced the show and started it. And they would have these comedy skits, and actually Jim Carrey was on it too. He was Fire Marshal Bill. And again, if you are my age and you know what I'm talking about, it was the best show ever. Men on Film. It's just David Alan Grier was on it. So good, so good. But the Fly Girls would come on in between skits, and they would perform before commercial break or when they came back from commercial. And even when I was a little girl, I used to love this show called Solid Gold. My husband thinks I am nuts. But I used to watch this show all the time with my grandmother, and it was the best. But my big dream, my big goal when I was younger was to be a fly girl. So I obviously did not achieve that dream, but I did try. And when I was 18, I had a dance teacher that did some choreography for the Fly Girls. Imagine that. But that's not the point of what we are talking about today. But the point of what we were talking about today has to do with knowing I had that big dream and knowing who I am. I am Theresa Cantley, and since you are here, you're either an avid listener and you follow me and you're with me with your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your water, whatever your choosing is, choice of drinks. Every week, listening to all kinds of inspiration and tips and strategies and interviews with amazing people. Or you might be new. And if you're new, welcome. I am so excited that you're here, and I'm so honored that you have joined me for this episode. It's funny because I was going over with my amazing podcast editor, Eugenia. I was going over with her the stats with her and my assistant, and we were going over, different stats and, for the podcast and what episodes were great, just so I can create more episodes that my audience loves. And she said to me, you know what, Theresa, I think you really need to create an episode for the new people because we have a lot of new subscribers, which is amazing and super, super exciting. So I was like, well, what do you want me to do in the podcast episode? Because normally on Instagram, you do like a post that says, oh, hey, I have some new faces around here. So since I can't see your face, but that's okay, I wanted to just create a podcast episode for anyone who's new or even anyone who's been listening for a while. If you don't know a whole lot about me and what to expect on this show, then this is for you too. So again, I am Theresa Cantley. I am a wife. I am a mother of 2 fur puppies that are sisters, Annie and Lucy. I am a stepmom to 2 kids. I have 3 grandchildren. I am an entrepreneur. I am a small business owner. And I absolutely love doing this podcast episode. I've been doing it for several years, and it takes a lot of dedication to do episodes every week, and sometimes we have 2 episodes a week. So thank you for joining me. And what you can expect. So what you can expect from this podcast episode is anything and everything from when life throws you lemons, how to make limoncello from it, how to get through failures and mess ups and blunders, how to deal with the challenges that come our way as business owners, especially with everything that we've been through in the past 2 years. But even outside of that, all of the challenges that we face as small business owners and how to keep going. We talk about how to manage your cash flow, how to manage your business by seasons, which is tied to cash flow, so that you can make sure that you are setting up a strong foundation, not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but for the length of the time that you own your business and even beyond that. We talk a lot about building a legacy and what does that really mean? And it means the actions that you take, the decisions that you make, things that you do, and how you show up in this world every single day, every moment of every single day is how you build your legacy. And the person that has inspired me always and always will to build an amazing legacy by who you are, not what you do in your business, is my absolute dear, dear, dear best friend, Vanessa Good, and my business partner, who passed away in the beginning of 2021. And we're going to talk a little bit about an episode with her when I tell you about my favorite episodes that we've done, considering we are on episode like 154, 53, I don't know, 150 something. But so she was the one that inspired me. She's the one that inspired me to start the podcast in the first place. She kept telling me, just do it, just do it, just do it. So I finally did. But she also was the person that, and will continue to inspire me on what it really means to stand in your truth, to stand for what you believe, to fight for what's right for people who don't necessarily have the voice to fight for, and also to build that legacy. So we talk about that. We talk about employees. We talk about building a transformational culture, one that is healthy and wealthy and is built on diversity and creativity and innovation. We talk about building an aligned strategy that aligns with your vision. So often, so many business owners they have these goals and things that they want to do. And they have like, oh, here's my vision for my business. And I want to open up these many stores and I want to do this and da, 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 da. But then they either don't have a strategy or the strategy that they have doesn't align with that. So they can't figure out why they keep going in circles. So we talk a lot about that. We also talk a lot about creating what I call a relational experience with your customers. And my new word, my new favorite word, and I've been talking about it a lot, and we're going to talk about it a lot more, is building a phygital experience. So, which is blending the physical experience in a brick and mortar business with digital technology. And what does that look like? So many people think you either need to be an online business or you need to be a physical brick and mortar business. And that is so not true. You can actually be both and integrate both together to make yourself stand out. So we talk a lot about that as well. So if you are looking for answers and advice and guidance, or even to just, in fact, I am sitting here with a cup of black tea right now. If you are looking for that every week and you want to come and hang out with me, hang out with my guests, we've had so many amazing guests on the podcast episode right now, including Dr. Rinelli, Dr. Rinelli Williams. She is a CPA, and she talked to us a lot about walking in faith, not fear, especially when it comes to your finances. We had Jay Razuk, the Esquire, who is an attorney who specializes in small businesses, and he talked to us a lot about protecting your small business. We've also had my amazing mentor, Mel Abraham, on the podcast. He just blows my mind every single time he comes on, but he talked to us about his Affluence Blueprint program, which is all about creating generational wealth and also building the life that you want to live and creating that legacy every day. We also, and this hasn't released yet, but we had a very, very, very special guest on recently. Actually, I interviewed her last week. One of my dear, dear, dear friends, Denise Cox, who is a author, a filmmaker, a mentor. She is just all around so inspiring, and I'm getting chills actually just talking about this, but she dropped so many gold nuggets and so much knowledge about her new thing that she is, her new talk that she's doing, information about her new movie that she has coming out, all about belonging and just, oh my gosh, it is so, so, so good. So you want to make sure you check that out. It is not out yet. It will be out very shortly in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you stay tuned for information on that. So we have some amazing guests that we've had on the podcast. So, and I will continue to have amazing guests sprinkled in between the solo episodes with me, where I share with you real life coaching, real life experiences, real life people, and everything in between, as far as inspiring you and helping you to build the business and the life that you want. So some things that, and that's a little bit about what you can expect from me. We drop episodes every Monday, so make sure that you subscribe to the show so that you get notifications when new episodes go live. We have show notes so that you can see what the show is actually about. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. I think we're on Pandora now too. Just wherever you can, Amazon, we're on Amazon. Wherever you can listen to a podcast, that's where you'll find us. So we have show notes with amazing links when I have guests on and they have things that they want to share, we'll have links to those things that they want to share in the show notes, as well as when I have something that I want to share, we will have those in the show notes as well. For just in case you are someone who is hearing impaired, we also have a full transcription of the podcast on my website at theresacantley.com/podcast. And you can go to specific episodes. Every single episode is loaded there. They are all archived. And I believe they're categorized too, based on the topic. But you can actually go and get a full transcription with all my ahs and ums and whatnot in there. It's all good. But you get all of that. So again, if you are hearing impaired, you will get, excuse my dog's barking, you will be able to get a full transcription of an episode. So no one will miss out. Okay. And you can find us anywhere. And you can also listen on my website, again, at theresacantley.com/podcast. So we drop episodes every Monday. We also have bonus episodes that we drop every so often. You can also get snippets as far as, like, let's say we have a new episode coming out that week. We put snippets, audio snippets and video snippets, because the podcast is also video as well as audio. Okay. So you can get both. You can see both. All right. And the video podcast also will have the subtitles. So you can also read off of those as well. But the podcast itself, the video podcast, will be on, the full version will be on LinkedIn. If you're a LinkedIn person, it goes live every Thursday. You will also be able to see it on YouTube. And we also post snippets of it. So audio snippets, video snippets, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, all over. So you'll be able to see and preview what that week's episode is about before you actually listen to it. So we give you that ability so you can kind of get that sneak preview of the super cool episode that's dropping. So it's a little bit about the show itself. So I also wanted to give you some little bit more info about me. Again, I am an entrepreneur. I am a small business owner. I help brick and mortar businesses. I basically someone asked me one time, Theresa, what is it that you do? And I had this long sentence and they were like, and I said, basically I fix businesses. So I help brick and mortar business owners, product-based brick and mortar business owners, but really it applies to anybody. I help them to build that aligned strategy to really figure out where the gaps are in their business so we can like solidify things, we can fix things, and then we can build that aligned strategy, the transformational culture, and the relational customer experience so that they can scale to 6 figures if they're not there already, 7 figures, 8 figures, and some of them have even scaled to 9 figures. So that's a little bit about what I do. I am the creator of the Business Growth Formula, the Profitable CEO, and the Business Masters program. I am a business consultant myself, and I am also a fractional COO. So just in case you wanted to know a little bit about me, I left corporate America as a director of operations and director of marketing for a laboratory equipment company and started my first brick and mortar business with my dear friend, Vanessa Good, and we were a retail store. And then as things progressed, we started off online as an e-commerce site and moved to a brick and mortar store. So we did this all while we were working full time. People ask me often, what do I do? Like, when do I know? Like, should I quit my full-time job? And I'm like, no, it's better off to stick with it, keep going, and then make the transition when you know you are ready. So that's exactly what we did. We had 3 different locations for our brick and mortar store. And unfortunately, in 2016, we closed down the brick and mortar store because she had been diagnosed with cancer, and so did my husband. And I was like, I am not going to do this by myself, and they need me more than this store needs me. And I still have my consulting business. So that's a little bit about me. My goal is to help as many small business owners to build thriving businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the backbone of any community. And if we can build better businesses, if we can build better cultures in businesses and build a better customer experience, we can then connect with each other in a much deeper, more positive, profound way. And if we start there inside the business, it can push out into the world. And ultimately, we can build a better world, which is my goal. I've also seen a lot of brick and mortar businesses close because they didn't have these 3 key elements built into their business. And all they did was they just burned themselves out. So I want to be able to help businesses to not burn out, to not be faced with shutting their doors and letting seeing their dream die. I want to help them to thrive. So some things that I wanted to give you some things that you can check out if you are new here, or even if you've been listening for a while and maybe you missed some episodes. I wanted to just give you several of my favorite episodes that we've done, and some bonuses that you can have in there. So first one was episode 149, which was more recent, and I did an episode called "Remember Who You Are." And so often when we have struggles and challenges and things that happen in our life and just things that just come in, we completely focus on going into crisis mode and we focus on fixing things. And we forget who we really are at our core. So I talk a little bit about this, and I talk a little bit about my story, training in the martial arts for many, many years, and a story about what happened to me then, and then also something that happened to me recently. So episode 149, definitely check it out. Episode 148 is the one about protecting your small business with Jay Razuk, and he drops so much good information and talks a lot about the main things that you need to do if you don't have an LLC or an S corp, or you don't have that entity formed yet for their business, or if you don't have contractor agreements, or if you don't have non-disclosure agreements. If you don't have that stuff in place, he gives you the things that you need to focus on first. So definitely check that one out. Episode 140 is the third place. And this is basically, this episode is the crux of absolutely every single thing that I do and believe in my business. And it talks about, well, I'm not going to tell you, you got to listen to it. It's awesome. It's like one of my top episodes. People that have listened to it are like, oh my God, I never looked at things like this. I never looked at it like that. So definitely check that one out. Episode 129 was actually the replay, and episode 80 was an episode that I did, and I interviewed Vanessa, my best friend that had passed away. She passed away in February of 2021. And I interviewed her in episode 80. It was back at the end of 2020. And we were at the shore for a very long vacation. I think we were there for 2 weeks. And it was the last place that she went, last vacation she took. And I talked her into letting me interview her, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so, so good. She talks about being diagnosed. She talks about what she went through. She fought pancreatic cancer for 5 years. It's just such an amazing episode, and the knowledge that she has and the insights and the wisdom that she gives just can help anyone who's going through struggles or challenges. And we also talk about some funny stories. Every time we would go out and anytime we would do something, it was always an adventure, and we always had so many laughs because I am so quirky and I'm a germaphobe. And, she is like the voice of reason, and the two of us together, I am klutzy, and I would fall. We got run over by a cab. Like, my leg got run over by a cab when I was just sitting there. The guy was backing up into me. Just funny stuff. So definitely give that a listen. And then also episode 81, which was right after that. And I did this episode while we were at the shore as well. And this was my first guest that I ever had on the podcast, which was Anthony Trucks, who was a former NFL player. He was on Ninja Warrior. Oh my Lord. I reached out to this guy and I just said, I'm just going to say, hey, would you like to be on my podcast? Just because, I got up enough guts to do it. And sure enough, he freaking said yes. And I was like, uh-oh, now what do I do? So he talks about learning how to take shift seriously. And he talks about his program and what he does to help people to believe in themselves more and to really go after their dreams and goals. So definitely check those episodes out. There's an episode with Mel Abraham, my mentor, and who's been my mentor for many years. And he's also a very dear friend. I forget what episode he is. He was episode 100. Ooh, listen to me. He was episode 100, so definitely check that out. But there's so many good episodes in between. So, you can't go wrong with any of them. I'm just telling you. Just saying. So I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight as to what you can expect when you are in my community and you are here with me every week. If there is something that you want to hear about, that you want to learn about, that you want me to talk about, I always love to receive messages. So you can either post a review, or you can also send an email directly to me, which is Theresa@teresacantley.com, and let me know. Let me know what you think of the podcast. Let me know how what kinds of things you want to hear about. If there's an episode that you didn't like so much, hey, I'm up for constructive feedback. Other than one time I had these I don't even want to call haters, these trolls on social media that told me that my hair was too big and that I needed to get a brush. And then somebody asked me if I was leading the group of people that were going to find the aliens. It's just creepy people. But you know what? Whatever. So I know if you're listening, you are not one of those people. So definitely reach out. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if you are new and you're listening to this, or you listen to some episodes and you're like, you know what? I want to learn more about working with you. You can, we are always accepting applications to apply to work with me one-on-one. When you work with me one-on-one in my program, the Business Growth Formula, we also have which we're starting a once a month group where we kind of bring everybody together, and then everybody can kind of share, what's going on, and even, get some outside perspective from people that are going through the same things that you are. So as I said, we are always accepting applications. We are always, I am always doing calls with people to see if they're a good fit, and to even just, find out what's going on, and just even to, give some advice and some things that they can focus on now. So if you are one of those people and you would like to find out more about working with me, you can actually go to theresacantley.com/revenue. I always get this link wrong. theresacantley.com/revenue, and go ahead and fill out the questionnaire, and we will get back to you as soon as possible and definitely get a call scheduled with you. And again, even if it's just we have a cup of tea, cup of coffee together, we talk a little bit about what's going on with you, and I can, get more context around your situation, but then also give you some things, 3-4 things that you can start focusing on now. And if I'm not the right fit, if I'm not the right guide for you, I know so many other people, I can also help to guide you in the right direction to the right person. But I would love, if I am the right guide for you, for us to work together. So again, you can go to theresacantley.com/revenue. So I hope I gave you a little bit more information again about what you can expect from this podcast, what you can expect from me, where you can find me, where you can listen to the podcast, and then also giving me feedback. And I would love if you are a listener, if you would leave me a review. The more people that when you leave a review or you rate the show, Apple sees all of that. It goes into the algorithm. Everything is an algorithm. And if you work with me, you know that I'm a big SEO girl, search engine optimization, and that's all algorithm based. Everything is algorithm based. But besides that, Apple looks at that, and that helps us to get rated better in the algorithm, and it also helps us to be shown more to people who are searching for podcasts that talk about exactly what I talk about. So I would love if you would leave me a review. That would just warm my heart. And also my 2 puppies, Annie and Lucy, would love it too. So thank you for listening today. I am so happy. If you are new, I'm super excited that you're here. If you are a listener that's been here for a while, thank you from the bottom of my heart that you join me absolutely every single week to chat and have some coffee or tea and just learn and laugh and cry, because sometimes I cry. Not often, but sometimes I cry. And just, do everything in between. Listen to some great interviews. And we are going to be having some more amazing interviews. Oh, actually, one more episode. Definitely check out the one that I just did. I think it was episode 151, where I spilled the whiskey. Not really, on my husband. It's an interview with my husband, Dennis, and it's actually pretty funny. So have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week for another episode. So until then, let's all take care of each other a little bit more than we do already, so we can make this world a much healthier, happier, better place. All right, take care. Hey there, it's Theresa, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you join me every week to listen to this podcast. This podcast has been a dream of mine, and when we hit episode 100, I was super, super, super excited, and I know now we are on our way to episode 200. If you like what you hear, and I know you do because you're here, I would love if you could head on over and leave us a review, either on iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, on whatever it is that you're listening to this podcast. I would absolutely love it. When we get reviews, when we get, 5 stars, it enables us to show up higher in the different categories so that more people can find us and we can make a difference in more small business owners' lives. So I would love, love, love if you could go on and leave me a review, and also tell me what you love, tell me what you want to hear more of, and how I can help you, because that's what I'm here for. I am here to give you real life experiences, real life coaching, real life stories from my work, my experience helping small business owners to build their business, but also me actually building and growing several of my own businesses. So if you love what you hear, please go over and leave a review. It would be absolutely amazing and would mean so much to me. But until next week, take care, and I will see you soon.